Hello, everybody. Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of No More Kids in Scientology. So, in this exact episode, you guys, we're going to be exposing what, in our opinion, it's giving Scientology recruitment center scam front center. And we are talking about the Ridley Academy piano front center. So this is something we became aware of and we've been looking into for quite a bit because we weren't familiar at all with this guy that is a Scientologist that is running it. And also, it appears that he's also recruited the Scientology star recruiter of the United Kingdom. So we really want to get into this, you guys, because this all starts with a Reddit post that came out that said, "This is a Scientology recruitment center hiding behind Ridley Academy piano classes. A group of Scientologists hide behind a piano school front to get young, unsuspecting, vulnerable women to get feelings for Stephen Ridley, and then slowly manipulate them into joining Scientology through endless emails campaigns that lead them to, quote, free mental health courses." So first problem that we really have to get into what this Reddit post is alleging, because mental health, is Scientology our religion, or is Scientology mental health? Or are these courses packaged in a way where people are told, well, it's not really a religion, but it's not actually mental health, because you really wouldn't want to be anywhere near someone that has a PhD to see you as a doctor. So instead of that, we get apparently piano lessons where allegedly they are targeting vulnerable women. And allegedly, they're saying that somehow they're getting women to get feelings for Stephen Ridley. That's what's being alleged, you guys. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know this guy. I don't know this Scientology operation. I am not aware. This was not a thing when I was in there. So we're going to be speaking only to really start contextualizing here, because going back to the current lawsuit that is existing in Los Angeles, where a child bride was married off to, what was it? Oh, yeah, a recruiter. A recruiter that was doing what? Oh, yeah, having vulnerable women catch feelings for said recruiter to then lure them into the billion-year contract, lure them into a marriage across state lines to Las Vegas, as it was done here in Los Angeles as a systemic practice, sending off underage girls across to Las Vegas. Because in what world does that make sense? So there's a parallel here on what we're seeing. It's being alleged. And the fact that they're, going to the free mental health courses, it's really red flag galore. So it continues. The entire school is all Scientology recruiters posing as helpful musicians and music coaches to get you into Scientology. I had to stop my teenage daughter from getting involved with them. No more kids in Scientology. Y'all want to know who the real victims are? Are the teenage daughters. And I imagine also boys, because they're not just interested in girls. I mean, they might have something going on where they're leading more into the girls or they get more girls than boys, but this is what matters. This is the fact that they're still doing it right now is absolutely outrageous. The fact that this is being sponsored and hosted by YouTube. The fact. I had to stop my teenage daughter from getting involved with them. What a shame. I was hopeful this didn't have any agenda other than learn piano for her as an alternate to social media. Sadly, this is nothing but a recruiting school for unsuspecting students and young, vulnerable women. Anyone else experience this? It was very shocking to me as a parent that so easily they could manipulate my teen daughter into a cult. I would be very interested to know if any of you have experienced this. And here's our first corroborating story. You guys, my daughter, according to and this is already 3 years ago. So this has been going on. My daughter did quite well with piano learning. She did more than a day, 3 minutes in a decent, although pricey course. And see, you guys, there's the red flag number 2. The course. Do the course. Do the piano course. The pricey piano course. What do they sell in Scientology courses? So what are they selling here? A piano, a so-called piano course that gets you into the fangs of people that, don't forget, these people are incentivized monetarily to send off people to the cult. Don't forget they get 10% payment for any service that any teenager that is successfully brought from Ridley Academy to the London org. And now you have so-called piano teaching recruiters getting paid by Scientology for bringing teenage daughters they found recruiting online. FSM is what they call it, these people. They call it, oh, this is our FSM. Bring us people and we'll pay you 10% of whatever they pay for whatever course. So people end up getting very good commissions. As everyone knows, Scientology courses are very expensive. So the commissions aren't just some cacamimi pennies. We're talking $3,000 FSM commission. We're talking $5,000 FSM commission. We're talking $10,000 FSM commission. That's the type of bird dogging being done by Scientology. And, you know, anyone that brings them, bring us the public, bring us the raw meat. That's what they call it. That's what they literally call it. Bring us raw meat. Staff meeting. How many raw meat people can we recruit this week? That's code word for people that had nothing to do with Scientology before. So that's why they're being called raw. They haven't been cooked. They haven't been cooked. Although it's a pricey course, it was the grooming her for Scientology that is the real issue with this academy. So this is a parent already offering his testimony of what he experienced. This I can't seem to shake, that they use piano school to recruit people into Scientology. The piano school on its own would be grand, but it seems there is a group of mid-20 to mid-30-year-olds. Charlie Wakley seems to be the head recruiter. His name was on the email, who are all connected to Stephen Ridley, who all work in a group to corral and recruit these kids. And young women who fall in love with this Stephen guy, and then they have some sub-cult group called Ridley Gang, where these women seem to have cult followers' love for this guy, Stephen, and many seem to be deeply in love of him. It is very, very disturbing and very cult follower type of women following him into the cult behind the scenes. I only found out about this after my daughter asked me some questions from a quote free personality test. Ding, ding, ding. So these people are out there with the free personality test, with the free so-called mental health courses that for some reason they seem to be giving themselves the liberty to label themselves mental health, when mental health and religion are not interchangeable whatsoever. Those are two words that have nothing to do with the other. Religion and mental health are not interchangeable words. They're words that have been hijacked by Scientology to sell their caca mimi rhetoric pitched by a convicted felon to whoever is vulnerable enough to be exposed. A la teenagers that, want to learn piano, and it seems like they have set up quite the little sub-cult of recruitment here. So the free personality test they got her to do after she asked about the mental health, which linked to the Scientology website. So again, very important to continue to highlight what in the literal hell is Scientology calling itself mental health. That's the word that they're using to lure the victims. Oh, do this personality test, because then we're going to find out all the things that are wrong with you. And then you're going to pay us to do this course. And then you're already going to be wrapped up around their finger as they are grooming, installing false definitions on underage kids, warping reality, teaching kids that if any of them got essayed, oh, don't worry about it. Inside of these hotels and commercial buildings that Scientology runs, essay is relabeled as out to D. And if this man is having a lot of girls that are really falling in love with him, well, imagine what type of out to D could really be going on here. If these allegations are true, that all these teenagers are signing up for this alleged subcult Ridley gang. Ridley gang. Just let it sink in. I mean, if that's the alleged name that this parent is writing here. I then started to look into immediately, and I felt sick to my stomach that they nearly got my daughter right under my nose into a cult that tears apart families. And then somebody writes here, Charlie Wakley, otherwise known as Scientology's secret weapon to get its clutches on your children. Secret weapon. Just imagine, you guys. Just imagine the links to this Ortega article that is back to August 6, 2019. Oh, man. This man, Riley. No, this is the recruiter that they started. I don't know. I don't know that he's working at the org anymore. It appears that now he's working exclusively here, based on another phone call that we did that got leaked that seems to confirm that this man is not even on staff anymore, which is also very, very weird, you guys. People are not supposed to be leaving staff. They leave staff for a reason. And I do want to share this so-called secret weapon article. Scientology's secret weapon to get its clutches on your children. You've seen us mention Charlie Wakley numerous times. Look at his face. The product of a Scientology family, Charlie has emerged as a notable fixture of Scientology's London Ideal org. He shows up frequently in the org's promotional materials and videos. His job is to give the impression that Scientology is exploding in popularity in London. It isn't, but he succeeds, at least in appearing to the org's tireless cheerleader and its mascot. It was Charlie's wife, Kate Wakley, who emailed London Scientologists a wild success story written by Isabella Cruz, Tom Cruise's daughter, about her struggles with learning to be an auditor. So when she was turned into this auditor, but yet she's a byproduct of all these kids that have been groomed since they were kids to think that the words of a convicted felon, the words that their little daddy and mommies, Scientology daddy and mommies, deadbeat Scientology mothers, deadbeat Scientology fathers who expose their kids to the rhetoric of a convicted felon, full knowing what that rhetoric says. So before any Scientology mother, before any Scientology father wants to play dumb, save your playing dumb for some other bullshit. You all know what the auditors are doing because you get the audits. You all know what's taught on the courses because you all go do the goddamn courses. You all know what they do to those kids in ethics because all of the Scientology mothers get ethics handled. All the Scientology fathers get ethics handled. So enough of this stupidity, enough of the pretense, enough of all the bunch of people that are playing dumb on purpose, who are the Scientology parents placing the kids right in the hands of these people, right in the hands to get what? To get trained, to get groomed, to be L. Ron Hubbard. That's what the kids are being told. Be like L. Ron Hubbard. What would L. Ron Hubbard think? What would L. Ron Hubbard do? What would L. Ron Hubbard say? What would L. Ron Hubbard does not leave the word of the infantile mothers that put their daughters in clear and present danger, of the infantile, degenerate Scientology fathers that put their kids in clear and present danger. And yet no Scientology parent is anywhere to be found calling out themselves, calling out the stupidity, calling out the atrocities that they have all Exhibit A. So let's not forget. Charlie was sent his own email to the org member, and you'll think what he gave us a shiver up the spine. Hey, sorry if this is a bit random, but I have become a bit of an expert when it comes to getting kids and youth on the bridge. Again, you guys, what the hell is a bridge? A bridge is code words for their disgusting, abominable role plays pitched by a convicted felon where no child is safe. So this man right here, apparently the expert, you know, and yes, he grew up in Scientology. Yes, he grew up in a family like Scientology, and he's a full-grown adult today that is still all about this, that is still all thinking everything is great, everything is wonderful, and as many children as he puts on that so-called bridge that he's purporting to be helping. The reason I wanted to let you know is that if you or any Scientologist has children that may be struggling to introduce Scientology or to get on lines or whatever may be, I can help. And yeah, I mean, so many children reject the stupidity of their parents. So many children abhor their idiotic Scientology mother, their idiotic Scientology father. That complete idiots are going, you really need to learn this word. You really need to learn this term. Like total clowns, like total idiots, like total degenerates sitting there, full-grown adult men and women we're talking about here. We're not talking about infantile kids teaching words that don't exist, that are all made up so that they can all play their game. So when we're talking about grooming, we're talking about grooming. The grooming is done by words. All the idiots that don't get how the grooming is done and, oh, I really thought Scientology was a religion. That's what I was told. Stop being told what it is and go look it up for your goddamn self. And don't give us this cockamamie story that, oh, due to the separation of state and religion, we can't ever have a critical thought for ourselves about what a convicted felon pitched. Because that's not what's going to fly anymore. All the idiots that want to go with, oh, the law really says we can interpret things that a convicted felon wrote. The law cannot interpret that. So here we have emails of this man begging for the Scientology parents who are somehow not grooming their kids. Somehow their kids are resisting wanting to do these disgusting courses, these disgusting audits, these disgusting so-called ethics handlings. And of course, as kids, you want to resist. You're being abused. You don't know that. You don't understand that. Everybody acts like everything is great and wonderful. Well, yet it isn't. They all couldn't be more groomed up to their neck and ears. And they're all still groomed up to their neck and ears. And it's the year 2025. And who in the F has woken up? Because it seems like there's not a lot of awakening. There's not a lot of accountability. There's -0 responsibility being taken by the people that know what is wrong and what is actually going on. So that's the great recruiter of Ridley Academy, this Charlie Wakley, who apparently is, a professional kid recruiter for any kids that couldn't be convinced to go get audits because they thought they were disgusting. Well, go send them to Charlie because, he's really going to tell them how amazing they're going to feel after getting abused. So let's go over this other video where Raphael Comau, we're going to be reviewing his video where he's actually dug into the background of this Ridley guy. And, he really kind of did a deep dive where he's really actually exposing what in the hell. So the origin story of this guy is already starting to stink. Isn't that great? So a privileged man with a privileged upbringing that went to a privileged school that had a privileged job as a banking officer decided to join Scientology as a grown man. Can you guys hear? Or is there no sound? Cannot or can hear? It's muted? What? No. Video's muted. All right, let me check my setting here. All right, you guys. Well, I apologize for that hiccup. I'm going to stop the screen right there. We've given you who Charlie is, and that's going to become very important for how the story actually unravels. And it's actually a perfect time here to cut off this part of the video. I'll make sure that we can play it and hear it for our next installation, where we're going into the background of who Stephen Ridley is and who is helping him recruit teenage kids all over the United Kingdom, where Scientology is not even recognized as a religion. So imagine that the country that doesn't even recognize Scientology as a religion has been hosting this academy, and they think everything is wonderful and amazing over there in England, where Charlie, the self-professed child convincer of doing Scientology is, fishing for kids. And as of the latest thing, because this video actually just came out. When did this come out? This video just came out a couple of months ago. So it seems to indicate, 1 month ago, it's this video. It seems to indicate that this man, Charlie, is no longer working at the work of Scientology. And my stomach hurts to think, why is Charlie not working if he was a top recruiter, the cheerleader, the one that was, really disseminating Scientology all over London, PRing Scientology to everyone all over London? Why is that man now working for the Ridley Academy? Because the answer is, it's going to be interesting. I mean, it does appear that he's now working at this academy, and he's not working at the org, which is, like I said, in Scientology terms, very, 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 very troubling. So thank you guys so much for joining today. We're going to continue with this. We'll fix the audio for our next stream. And I'm going to be doing another live with Miriam coming up in about an hour. So stay tuned for that, because that's going to be a very important conversation that we're going to have with Miriam as well. So thank you much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave your comments down below, leave your questions down below. And thank you for joining us in this new year 2025 for No More Kids in Scientology. Bye-bye.